a large trailer smoker. When I say trailer, you're not going to be able to put it on a tow bar. It's a move around type thing. It's obviously quite heavy, so the wheels are really useful. But we've been using it commercially in our kitchen for a few months. We bought it about 6 months ago in really good condition. We've obviously used it. We've smoked a lot of ribs, smoked a lot of everything, and I've given it a full refurb as much as any human being can give it a full refurb. We've done a pretty good job of it. I'm a professional painter myself, so I understand quite a bit about prep, corrosion and paint and so on. I'm just going to go over a few dimensions for you so you get a good grip as to exactly the size of it. The smoke chamber itself, and I'll open this up shortly, is 38 inches wide, a little bit more that's just the door, so add another inch on that. So we're close to 40 inches. So that's it's not obviously cold smoking, you can cold smoke on that, but that's where you'll do your proper low and slow stuff in there. You can also do low and slow in there as well. It's obviously a little bit more difficult with it being above the fire basket itself. I tend to use that for either doing wings, so it's a lot hotter if I want to get wings done in 15 minutes or so. I've got 3 shelves in there that I'll put wings in. Or I'll take the shelves out entirely and I'll just use it as an oven or for hot holding. So yeah, that's the dimensions that way. Front to back, we are looking 21 inches. The smokestack, total height of the smokestack, is probably going to be important for anyone that needs to get it in somewhere. 79 inches. The tyre is slightly deflated, so you probably say an extra ½ inch there, 79.5 inches. This is totally removable, you can take that off. I tend to just cover this in foil so that if I'm mopping anything in there, I am going to clean this all the time. I'll get the camera in a minute and take you around a little bit closer, and you can go through all the details and you can see exactly what's what. Obviously, I have also added a load of photos. So I've done my best to be as transparent and as accurate as I possibly can for you. Right, yeah, temperature gauges, the barbecue and smoke ranges, we pretty much exactly the same, slightly different, slightly smaller one up there. 2 chimneys, so pretty much everything that I do, I've always got this one closed, and I've always got that one sort of halfway, depending on the temperature that I'm smoking at. Some good storage shelves. If anyone's buying this for home, barbecue enthusiast, you're probably just going to put a load of wood in there. I tend to put some trays in there. It's useful for whatever you want to use it for. Right, it's the trailer that is visible on the camera, yeah. So it's really kind of crude and rudimental, but it does exactly what you need it to do. It steers just like that. Does take a little bit of force. Again, the tyres are quite flat. It's going to be a lot easier if the tyres weren't flat. But it's been in here for several months, six months probably, and the heat will just deflate those tyres every now and then. So relatively easy really, and to move it, it is also quite easy to move as well. So yeah, so inside the chambers, you've got three grills. You can pull them pretty much all the way out. Probably want that more like that, so there's less of a slant on that. That applies all 3 of them. Firebox, fire basket. Right, so I'm going to show you a door shortly. I didn't shut the door. That basically stops the smoke. But when the door's open, it allows the smoke to go in through to the main chamber. You might not always want to use that. You might be quite happy, properly barbecuing. You can have the door entirely open and use this as just a barbecue. So that door I didn't shut properly, and as a result the fire basket was getting stuck. So there's no issues there, it's just I was being a bit of a Mongol. So that comes out fairly easily. It could do with, like these, a little there's a bit of metal welding to it. It could do with something to stop that firebox from falling. If anyone can weld, I would suggest someone does that. I'd certainly put it on the left hand side away from that door latch there. But honestly, it's not really been a problem for me because I've got to know it. What I tend to do is I'll have that one, that shelf out, have it on there, and then this there, so it's a big solid plate. So depends on how I use it, I'll either have that exactly where I've just took that out from, and I'll use that whole top chamber as an oven, or I won't have that on at all. And if it comes to stoking my fire, I've got good access there, so I'll open up that door, and I've got good access to put another piece of wood on or add some more coals. Yeah, it's got all brand new seals. Again, I'll bring you around it, I'll bring the camera closer and show you as much as I can on close-ups, but all brand new seals. Since it's been painted and resealed, it's not been used. I'm not going to use it. It's just going to stand there and wait for somebody to buy it, which I don't think is going to take very long. There's obviously not many smokers like this around in the UK. Yeah, so then from the front, once the temperature's settled, it takes half an hour, 45 minutes for the temperature of the whole body of the smoker to settle, and then at which point I tend to have it closed up around there. There's also a vent at the back which I generally don't use at all. I have it closed most of the time, and that seems to keep me sort of top end of the smoke range, about 120C, and that's nice. I've got some good results out of that. Right, so the main chamber. When we've come to repainting this, and I've learned some lessons as I have used this quite a lot, where the barbecue paint naturally is satin, and we're constantly in and out of the main chamber particularly, and with the handles being satin, they kind of grabbed a bit more dirt than normal, so I've lacquered those. I've only lacquered literally from there to the end, and kept the bit closer to the heat just in satin. It is a high temperature lacquer, one that we use in our business where we remanufacture brakes. Brake calipers, after they get quite hot, but it's not going to cope with 650 degrees C or something near a fire door. Not that it gets that hot, but yeah. So it is a relatively normal lacquer, but it's going to be more than good for the heat that it will be subjected to. Same applies to this as well. When it comes to when I didn't foil this and I've just forgot, or I've been in a rush, it was difficult to clean compared to probably now, because it has been lacquered. It's just going to be quite a lot easier to clean. Right, so into the main smoke chamber. Just rest on that centre. It's almost like a lifting eye there, I suppose, it's behind there. Again, just like the trays there, this also has at both ends, because they're much wider, little stays, latches, whatever you want to call them. You've got big cooking range. I'll get 6 ribs on there, 6 sets of ribs, that is, pork ribs, easily. And more like 4 on there. And then I've got some space to dot some wings about as well. So you can cook quite a lot of food. On that point, I'll touch on why this isn't really the best smoker for us moving forward. We are sorely Viking barbecue. We cook food commercially. We just can't get that much on there. We're doing at the most 12 racks of ribs, and that's all we've got available for sale. We do half racks and third racks. but considering the money that we've spent on this and the amount of space that it takes up in the kitchen, getting 12 racks of ribs out in one night isn't really any good for us. We don't like to store things hot for too long and then reheat them, or cool them down or reheat them, or do boil in the bag stuff. We're not really interested in that. We want our ribs ready to go, as close to when the customer wants them delivered as possible. We do food delivery, barbecue food delivery. So commercially for us, this isn't the best smoker that we're going to possibly have. What we're actually going to end, well, we've got a friend that's going to build a smoker for us, just straight up box section thing. It's 800mm wide, 700mm deep, 1.8 metres tall. That's a huge amount of cooking space, and in terms of real estate in the kitchen, it's going to take up half the space of this. But if I had time and I barbecued as much at home as I used to, I wouldn't be selling this. I'd be putting this at home. I'll have a lot of fun with this at home. I know I would. Right, so I'm going to pick up the camera and give you a closer look at stuff. So all the shelves, everything has been properly shot blasted. In the business, me or the business, where we remanufacture brakes, we've got a de-rusting solution. It's ultrasonic and it bubbles away at 70 degrees C. So any rust that we didn't, if there was anything left over in the pores of the metal, then it's submerged. It just dissolves it. There's no rust at all whatsoever left on these. Naturally, you get a bit of surface rust. We clean these every couple of days in water. But at the end of the night, we just tend to put them over the fire to clean them. But yeah, every couple of days we get them in water, and yeah, naturally there'll be a bit of surface rust. But there's absolutely none left at all whatsoever. And then we painted it obviously in the 650 degrees C VHT stuff, proper good barbecue paint. Yeah, you see the brand new seals. The temperature probes are really clean. Nice and tight. Really nice and tight. Before I refurbed this, I had a little bit of a leak around this area there, and that was with really worn down seals. So with these brand new ones, I don't think you're going to get any leak at all whatsoever. Not for a long while. Yeah, little temperature gauge there. We've lacquered all of that. All the grills underneath we've lacquered as well. The chimneys move really freely. There's no issues at all there. That's that fire basket at the back. Not fire basket, vent at the back. Pretty big vent. Obviously, you probably want that open if you're gonna fire it up. There is, I mean, from new, there's a bit of welding spatter on there. I think that could have probably been finished a bit better, all being honest. But at the end of the day, it's a big heavy smoker, and it's actually not caused us any problems at all whatsoever. And I've only really noticed it since I've refurbed this. So I'm being fussy there. I'm sure I am. Right, so this is what I was on about when it comes to the little latches there. It pulls out, and you just rest it down on that, and that's not going to go anywhere. So I'll show you this door. So if you did want to use this as a barbecue, it's I've done it, it's easy, no problems at all. You've got the latch on there, that's the door. So you just shut off all the fume, all the smoke to go to that chamber. But obviously I've mostly used this, 99% of the time use this as a smoker. So that just goes to the back there, and it's just on a metal hinge, and that's that. Pretty straightforward. That's just a bit of water. I'll give it a bit of a wipe down before I've done this video. Yeah, so any questions, give us a shout. Can't see us keeping this for very long at all. It'll make someone a really, really nice smoker. Whoever has it, I hope have a lot of fun, because I have.